who already had the coronavirus getting it again. In South Korea, 116 patients who recovered from COVID-19 have tested positive a second time. Does this mean the virus can reactivate, or was it never actually out of the system? Dr. Mark Siegel is here. Dr. Siegel, what does this mean for immunity?
Well, first of all, I want to reassure people that I believe that in the vast majority of cases, once you've had COVID-19, you're likely over it and have antibodies, and you can fight it off again for a period of time. If we base it on SARS, which is a very similar virus from 2003, that period of time would be a couple of years. But Brian, we don't have all the information yet, and the people in South Korea, I'll put forth what you already said. Maybe they never got over it. Maybe those patients had an immune problem where they couldn't develop an immunity, or maybe they didn't develop enough of what we call neutralizing antibody. That's a word you've never heard before, but that's what scientists are looking for. Are you developing the kind of antibodies that neutralize the virus, that prevent it from ever giving you another infection? That's the basis of the vaccine right there that they're working on, neutralizing antibodies. We don't have the complete science on it yet, Brian, but I think in the vast majority of cases, when you're over this, you're not going to get it again.
What is the most encouraging thing you hear, and from what company, when it comes to the vaccine?
Well, I think the idea that the Moderna vaccine is already entering the end of phase 1 clinical trials, per Dr. Fauci, who I spoke to about this the other day, it's going to get into phase 2 very soon. And it looks like it's hitting the target, that it's really working. They're very optimistic about it. But it's not only the Moderna vaccine. Some of the big pharmaceuticals like Johnson & Johnson are getting involved, and Novartis is getting involved. Other major players are going to be involved in this, Sanofi. So we'll see where we end up. But it's going to take a while because they have to give it to a lot of people, make sure that it's effective. And then the manufacturing process, Brian, costs at least $1 billion from the beginning to the end. So a lot of money has to be involved.
Right, but you're going to make a lot of money, too, because, you know, if you do this, you have 180 countries in every continent that's going to want to order from your company.
You bet.
Dr. Siegel, I watched you last night with Tucker. You really thought this cough could have been the coronavirus, so you took the test on camera. It was a 15-minute test, and we got the answer before his show was over. What was it like?
It was nerve-wracking because I wanted to make the point that I, like everyone else, has a cough. We think we have it. And some of us do have it, some don't. And that's why I really want the rapid tests to be more available. Not just the test I took on camera last night. I actually had a really great laboratory pathologist come all the way down from Boston to give me that test in full garb. You saw that. Negative within 15 minutes, dramatic, during the show. But now I'm going to have my antibodies tested, Brian, to our first point, to see if I could have been exposed to it previously. That will reassure me even more if I actually have immunity to it, or I have an antibody to it that's on the road to immunity, or that I never got it. We need everybody to know that. This thing is so contagious. Did you get it? Were you exposed to it? Are you over it? Those are the key questions now.
So, Dr. Siegel, what I get when I walk around and everyone says this, everyone's got the same question. I want to find out if I had it. I'll give plasma if I have immunity for it. And when can I get the quick test? What do you say when people ask you these very fundamental questions?
I think we need a marshaling out of that rapid test that you saw me show last night. That test, there's only 18,000 of them in the country. They can only do 4 per hour per machine. So I think we need a big rollout, and either Abbott or other companies have to give us more of that rapid test. That's the test called point of care. Do you have it now? The antibody test, Brian, there's a different problem, which is we need to develop accuracy. There's 70 different companies and labs that are trying to get approval for those antibody tests. We need a standard one, at least a few different companies. Narrow it down to the ones that tell us the most about what your chances of immunity are, and get that to everyone. The NIH is currently doing a study of 10,000 people to see how far COVID-19 has spread into communities. antibodies. The antibodies are the way to tell that. The blood test I took last night, I'll have the answer today. I'll know if I was exposed to this or not. I need everybody to know that.
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Siegel, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.